So we'll find out very soon.
Already you can see differences in the draft. Sivir ban, that's for Varus pick. The LeBlanc ban we've been talking about, potentially allowing for... So Varus is up with no Sivir. I'm interested to see what we're going to play against this Varus, which is going to be first picked here. Again, this could be a Varus top. You never know. You never know in the LPL in 2026. But Azir could be an option here too. The Oriana's banned. No LeBlanc. You'd have to go something like an Akali maybe. Or something really old school. You could go the Ziggs. Again, we've seen that matchup already. But for IG, I think securing something strong in the bot lane is going to be important. This is...
No, it's strong. It's strong. Hey, don't. Were you gonna talk? Were you gonna crap on Jhin? Huh?
No.
Okay, good. We're good. No, I don't think that's the pick here. I think it's tough against Varus in the first place. If this Varus goes to bot lane, I do like the Jhin Pantheon combo, but I have a feeling that Pantheon's gonna go to Wei.
Yeah, I think like the best things you can play against Varus, even though he is really strong, is cast ready. So the Jin's not like too bad. It is really hard. Like the lane is hard.
The laning phase sucks.
The laning is really hard. But later on, okay, so it is the Ziggs answer, but man, the draft for Waybo is already really strong. You've got Varus Azir, really scary, and then Poppy Flex, which can go into genuinely 3 roles right now. It could just be a match into the Pantheon, could be to protect the Varus, but we're talking about
Poppy
Ziggs.
Is insane.
It's not a bot lane Ziggs, but it is a Ziggs.
See, if it's just going to be... I mean, you do want to move the Ziggs around to get some of that turret gold, especially once you can start breaking them down, but not a lot of mobility probably out of the mid lane for rookies. So they're definitely going to change strategy, change direction just a little bit here. But speaking of, we're going to change direction to the second phase of bans. We already got the Renekton ban as well for IG to kind of target up that top lane. The Nautilus is going to be banned away by Waybo.
Renekton ban. So we're getting something a bit different in the top lane. I'm praying for not, double tank. Although that would be pretty... Like, Waybo would need a tank, so... They do kind of need some frontline to provide space for this Azir Varus comp. Against the Pantheon, you can't really match the global anymore. You can't go Galio top here blind. It's not how it works. So you're going to be down tempo just because of the ganks, because of the gank potential from Wei. But Wei was down a lot of farm in that game 1 on the Xin and also got out-rotated because of the Nocturne passive, right? He spent a lot of time hovering on these lanes, waiting, and then Jiejie was just able to find these great timings here to support bans across the board here. IG not convinced that the Poppy is going to support, so likely a Poppy jungle angle.
It's a classic for him. Cold comfort, and I just think, again, he has one of those minds that just really work well with some of the cheese paths that you can do on the Poppy and some of those earlier ganks as well to kind of get things going for Waybo. But now we got to figure out what IG want to grab here, what they want to save for that counter pick as Alistar coming through.
I mean, this means that Poppy could easily go into support, and then it would be pretty tough, but Waybo opting for the pseudo self-counter. I say pseudo because Alistar is a good matchup in the rel, in the lane, and in the fights, but you still can find angles. It's not completely unplayable. We've seen this hand shook a bunch of times, but Waybo just going something in the top lane. Renekton's ban, and Bessa is really strong, and want to have a bit more of a conversation about this support. Is the Poppy going to go into support? Is it going to be a Poppy jungle with this rel? And it will just be.
Yeah, or, wild and Bessa jungle. See, there's so many different things. So many things that we could see. But I do expect it is, again, a comfort for Jiejie. So we'll see if he ends up going for it. But IG need to figure out what they want to get as their final pick. Saving that pick for Soboro, who hasn't played a big role, I feel like, in their last couple series. But maybe wanted to get a little bit more piece of the cake, if you will, here, as Zahen will be locked in.
Yeah, I've been a bit of a vocal doubter about the Zahen. I think it's really hard against a comp like this with the amount of range Varus and Azir can afford. But considering the Yorick, I don't love the Yorick this season because of, you know, again, the team fighting potential. So Zehen does slot in a bit better in that regard. And he does have people to hit against. He's got the Ambassador, got the Poppy, got the Rel. So we'll be able to stack up that passive a bit better than in some games you've seen, or we've seen in the LPL, sorry. But again, the Azir and the Varus has so much range against the Zehen. The good news for IG, they have a ton of gap close. They have, and guaranteed engage, right? They've got the Pantheon W, they've got the Alistar engage, the Jhin follow up with the Deadly Flourish. So it comes down to whether IG can find the CC onto the backline. They've got the Ziggs long range damage to pair with the Jhin, but Waybo have a scary backline.
They do. I do love a little fact, though, of IG swapping Jwei from that, you know, supportive enchanter back to something that engages. This guy has had some of the best engages, I feel like, and being able to see that kind of come through here could be really important. But I just think that it's a little bit more of the same, at least for Waybo, and I think that's right up their alley, where you have that proactivity, but you still have a lot of dueling power in your carries, and they're really setting themselves up for success here.
Well, I'm about to jump into our second game here. Strong lanes for Waybo is the name of the game here, Mazel.
It is indeed game 2, Waybo versus IG, kicking off now.
Yeah, Jio. Let's go. We're getting to the end of our split one, Mazel. Yeah, there was one right at the end. And it does invoke a confidence in you, I have to say. Like, it is very encouraging to hear a really nice start in bot from IG. And normally the Alistar has a really bad level 1, like one of the worst level 1 supports in the game, if not the worst, because of, you know, he has like Pulverize or Headbutt. He can't do the combo. He's got no poke. He has no disengage at all. But against Rel, his level 1 is really good because Rel wants to start with W so she can crash down or even scoop back. She can start dismounted. But Alistar, his play into the Rel, is to deny that engage. So Rel can't do anything in the lane that she would normally want to do. So despite having, you know, not the strongest level 1 support, and against a Varus, IG actually get this wave 1 prio here.
See if they can bounce back a little bit here at least for IG. Maybe use some of that prio on the bot side. I do love the kind of setup potential, the utility that the Jhin brings to the table. But I do also want to check in on the jungle pathings. We're going to have opposite side pathings this time around from both of them. See what kind of boons they go for on either side. If we're just going to get, you know, quick re-clears coming through for either. But I do think, you know, getting early advantages, finding those early advantages for both these teams, and more specifically for both the junglers, is extremely important.
I mean, 3 pushing lanes, it is only like the second wave here, so this might not be the same with the Varus push eventually once he gets some of that lethality online, but 3 pushing lanes with a Pantheon is incredibly scary. He can be anywhere, he can dive you, he can be all over the map at once, and you have no way of setting up vision, pardon me, because you're constantly under your tower. So if IG can keep this up, when Wei gets level 6, it's going to be a really hard time for Waybo to navigate through this early game.
Indeed, you can see IG just trying to keep as much potential poke as possible, threatening down onto Waybo's bot lane. Keep Elk at a place where he's not comfortable, and especially with Wei having potentially pathed down this way. Could find something as the Bloom will give his position away. Another Deadly Flourish, potentially stop it back, but resets will be given.
Erha's just happy about this bonus. He's like, yeah, my CS, nice. Look at that gold lead in bot, 7 gold, nice. So he's just able to pick up some of the CS of his own, and we'll have a TP back in bot, so we won't be losing too much there. Elk will be able to join that back up. But yeah, the top lane matchup not going super well right now for Zika. He's taken a pretty decent chunk trade. There's the matchup of the Alistar into Rel on full display, but IG taking some resets here, getting on some items. You've already had TP in mid, so the Mana, Crystal, and an Amped Home start. Got a Sword for Photic, the Tear for Elk. Fairly, you know, slow early game. That's what happens when you're against a Pantheon. Or when a Pantheon's in the game, Poppy's not a massive invade champion. She's not going to be able to make these ganks happen super early against something like an Alistar either. So that third Scuttle Crab spawn, Mazel, that is a really important one this game. There was a game, I can't exactly remember which one it was, but it was a bot side play, and Pantheon picked up the Scuttle and instantly ulted. I think it was onto Gala, who was playing Varus, and instantly got a kill on him.
Yeah, those kind of tempo plays are super huge. You can see that Waybo were trying to set up a little bit of tempo in the mid lane. With already getting a roam off from Erha. I think that's going to be an important factor to keep in mind. Is how quickly both these supports get onto the map and kind of get involved with those junglers. But I just want to say something, Jbetto. I think Rookie heard you. It's not a Nivea, but it is the Snowball Zig skin. So maybe he's trying to cool you down just a little bit. But that's also something because he had a pretty cold performance in that game number 1. Want to see Rookie kind of step it up, and on the Zigs, I think you are the kind of backbone damage there for this comp, because Jin ain't gonna be killing that many until he's cleaning up fights in the later game.
I mean, with the Mega Inferno Bomb, like with the Ice Skin, is it cold Inferno Bomb? Hold that thought. Soboro in top.
They go the ult with the public execution. Soboro doesn't have the passive and can't even cast the Grim Deliverance there. That's an easy first blood.
Really nice gank from Jiejie, but Wei will answer back with the Dragon. So here, Jiejie is doing the top scuttle, so he'll hit level 6 and have the upgraded smite, but the Dragon will be well beyond gone there with the prio that this bot lane is affording IG. There is the scuttle completion in a second. Right there, level 6 and the upgraded smite, but the Dragon is already gone.
And it's going back to a trend from that game number 1. I mean, IG were able to stack those dragons early, and yes, Waybo started fighting them back and getting some of them, but they had already gotten to Soul Point, and that's a lot of decision-making power you can have. But now Jiejie going for one of those cerebral ganks here onto Rookie, pushed right into him with the combo straight into the wall, and Rookie can't do anything as Jiejie expertly takes down the mid lane of IG.
This is kind of looking exactly like game 1, despite not having that early triple kill. It's Waybo playing for gold, fighting across the map better. Jiejie's been in top lane, got a kill, mid lane got a kill, invaded top side as well. So it's a little bit of a gold lead for Waybo, and IG just got the Drake. So I think for both teams, you're not unhappy with this. It's not as if IG with like a Ziggs Jin can really, at this point in the game, fight an all-in and win. But they do get the Drake. Waybo get these kills, and you see the Poppy Azir combo on display, the shuffle, dash into the wall. Kind of like a, I think we saw that first with Skarner Azir when that was becoming popular, when Skarner jungle was pretty popular. We were seeing the drive into the wall. Now we're seeing the slam into the wall.
Remember when that champion was relevant? It's crazy.
I do. That's fun. I don't know. I like
how far they fall.
Remember when old Skarner was a thing and he had the crystals?
True.
Me neither. I'm not an unk.
Oh, Elk remembers when he didn't miss that ult. I know that for sure. As he unfortunately goes a little bit wide on the Chains of Corruption, but was looking for a bit of an aggressive stance on the bot side. Still gets a good amount of poke now with that serrated Dirk. Although I will say, Photic has his on the other side. And it looks like he's going for steel caps potentially.
And Photic has cleanse, so... Oh, nice execution.
Soboro has nothing. He hasn't even charged up his passive, and he still gets a big chunk onto him and a little bit of a level advantage for Zika.
And Soboro opted into this lane, so he did have the early prio because, the early Zehen with the passive potential is very scary, but now that Zika's kind of dashing all over the place, getting the shields online too, not a ton Soboro can do, but IG continue to find push in this lane, even against the Varus.
Oh, the Grand Starfall coming in, and they fully focus on the Elk. There's going to be a little bit of savior play from Jiejie, but it's not nearly enough. A late TP coming in. That's going to be more reinforcements for Waybo, and Xiaohu looking to clean up. He's still got his whole combo. He's looking to try to pick up some kills here. Rookie has finally made his name known. He's going to come over and try to get a kill. Big shove coming in from Xiaohu as he picks up one kill. Keeper Verdict going to knock Rookie away, and Jiejie will have to back away now. Another TP coming in, and that's going to be Elk rejoining the triple TP comp coming to fruition here as another from Zika. This one's extremely late on the backside of the fight. He doesn't have public execution. He might... Oh, it's actually going to be Erha who switched to it with his spellbook. So a fourth TP.
I mean, IG with the level 6 Pantheon, kind of what I was talking about earlier, where as soon as you hit level 6 with those pushing lanes, it's really scary. You can never have vision of the Pantheon unless you've got some really deep vision, but Waybo can't get vision. They're under their tower the whole time, so the Pantheon comes from completely nowhere all the way at the top tribe rush. Really nice dive from IG, and even though it's being covered by Jiejie, there is too much damage here. Xiaohu TPs and he gets 1 in return. But IG finding some early play through the jungle.
Photic flashing their way still picks the kill, but a little bit of gold back, especially for Waybo. But I really love the way that IG fought, and you gotta think that, you know, that fight's way different if Elk still has his ultimate from that missed one onto Jwei. Hindsight being 2020.
I'm going to call myself out here a little bit. Every time someone says that, hindsight is 2020, when I swear I first heard that saying in 2020, and I thought it was some weird like flashback. There's a lot of damage on Erha.
A little bit of a flashback here. He doesn't really have much tankiness at this point. He does get the heal at the last second. The Chains of Corruption comes down too. The Blight stacks are there. Elk almost gets the kill, and a Photic. The Arcane Comet isn't enough. That's the Deadly Flourish now coming down, and Elk is left out to dry. Somebody's going to have to dodge. It goes through the middle. Elk gets sniped by Photic.
The Ziggs bomb was huge there. Did so much damage, and even if that play didn't go the way that Weibo wanted it, IG wanted it to, Wei is just around the corner. He didn't have ult at the time, but it is coming up, and he easily could have come down and dove, but IG off to a much better start, Mazel, than that first game. 1,000 individual gold lead. Nice shuffle.
Rookie's going to have to be forced to flash out of that one. Jiejie goes for the combo with the Keeper's Verdict, though, and they have enough damage to take down Rookie. But here comes Wei with a Grand Starfall, always willing to answer, always willing to put his body on the line, and Jiejie will flash away.
Really nice kill. No flash Rookie as well. That means that you are able to go back and punish it again. Ult in top.
Grim
Zika might be dead.
Popped. That's public execution. He's just going to dash away.
Oh, never mind.
He is an Ambessa. But I got to say, I'm not, you know, a proud parent or anything, but I'm proud of Waybo right now. Like, they're working around Xiaohu. Xiaohu has been a crucial piece to both of these games already.
And I mean, a little bit sleeper in game one, like from us, I guess, you know, he kind of flew under the radar a little bit. We didn't really get a chance to talk about Xiaohu a ton in that game because of, you know, the Elk Kaiser and the stats on that pick and how well he did in that game, how crucial he was to the team fights. But Xiaohu is the one with the biggest gold lead on this Azir, who has been the primary mid laner for the, as long as I can think back. Azir has been top of the meta, and you kind of have to play this champion. This is one of the critiques of Knight in the LPL. He, you know, struggles on this pick, but Xiaohu picking it up here against the counter of the Ziggs that we've seen rising up and up. I think it was, you know, mostly, I'm not sure if it was first picked by Knight, but it really kind of was pioneered by Knight, his answer into the Azir, and Xiaohu making this start look good.
Erha misses the Shattering Strike there. Will begin locked down with the Deadly Flourish. A little bit of vision play here as Jiejie gets hit by the trap, and now he will be sprung on his ambush he was trying to attempt on the bot side, but another dragon had gone down to IG, so that timer is still going their way. And while we'll see what happens with that Rift Herald coming up, and the Cloud Soul coming through.
I mean, Cloud Soul,
Not
Pantheon, Zehen.
You think so?
I would disagree. Yeah, I think that one of the big problems of Zehen, in my opinion, like I've been a very big proprietor of I don't like Zehen. I think he's weaker than a lot of pro players are showing. I might have to hold my thought here. Waybo, want to fight over this Scuttle Crab?
Apparently. Let's see what happens in a 4v4. Deadly Flourish does not land, but the Headbutt Pulverize lands onto 2, and Wei stuns Erha down to the dirt.
I'm not exactly sure what Weibo are looking for there. That they want to fight over the Scuttle Crab, and I know that the Scuttle Crabs are genuinely important in this season, but this isn't that level 6 Scuttle Crab. You do just end up losing your support for not a whole lot of nothing. But going back to what I was saying, one of my biggest problems with Zehen is he's like Ambessa, right, with the passive, with you know, and Aatrox with the healing. He's kind of does a lot of things other champions do, but he has no CC really outside the W. It's short range. It's not a great catch mechanic. he has very little mobility out of E. He kind of does everything averagely, in my opinion. But the thing he does really well is when you are fighting in his face, he wins. He beats you because he gets those extra stacks. He has, like, he just stat checks you, right? And then he gets the res, he has lifesteal from ult. With Cloud Soul, with Cloud Drakes, being able to use that to gap close onto the Izzy, onto the Varus, if that's a tool that Soboro has access to, alongside Wei, you know, if Wei ult and then uses E, which gives him extra movement speed as well, IG are really fast, and all of a sudden the range disparity that Waybo have is no longer a factor.
Really help in that regard. See how it comes down, as they will need to continue stacking that one and not stall like they did in game number 1. Nice flash from Elk, predicting the engage as Jwei hit that little bit of a ghost speed up from his spellbook. And everybody's going to be positioning around this Rift Herald pit as it spawns.
IG are around first. They have much superior vision. So Waybo are down tempo here.
Oh, they find the pick though. Erha might get picked again. Is pretty tanky as he walks away for now, but a lot of pressure now from Soboro as he completed his first item. Keeper's Verdict to be used on the blue buff too, as they should be able to kill that one before it resets, and that'll be free gold to IG and a free Rift Herald.
And this game is becoming more and more about Xiaohu. He's the only one with a gold lead that really matters. The Mbessa, 800 gold lead. They're both on one item right now. They're not in team fights, so doesn't really mean a ton. But Xiaohu in this side lane can really put pressure on these turrets. You see Weibo pathing towards Xiaohu, maybe trying to get some plates, or even the full tower would be really nice. But I think this is a game that Xiaohu really needs to show off that he's still got it.
Oh, Rookie's falling for the bait. He's trying to get under the turret. Gonna early flash, but he has left himself open to Jiejie getting the wall bang here. Here comes the Grand Starfall as a rebuttal, though. IG have found picks right back, and the Rookie stays alive. It's a double kill for Wei, and Xiaohu should be fine.
That is a massive blunder by IG. By Weibo. A massive play from IG. We'll hit one, maybe? No. All right. Nope. We don't even go over the fourth one, unfortunately. But this is the strength of Pantheon, right? He has the Herald, he, can use it on this tower if he wants to, maybe a tier 2, but the fact that Pantheon can join that play after Waybo are the ones with the prio on the wave, with the more members around, and Wei joins so quickly, so easily. This is not done. We're TPing behind. This is a Varus TP, though.
And he has no friends any longer.
He's out.
He's going to TP his way out, and beautifully done by Rookie. He gets the turret and escapes.
That was questionable by Elk. There's no way that they catch, Rookie there. But this will at least give Waybo a Drake. This will give Prio over this Drake. No Pantheon ult. He's heralding in mid, though. So the Dragon is done. Herald will go towards the mid lane with Ziggs. This probably kills the tower as well.
That's going to be a lot of gold. I mean, already a 1,000 gold lead for them. They did cede that Dragon control, but I would give that up any day to take this amount of control away from Waybo. And now Wei's going to smite away the red buff from Jiejie. And that should be more gold, more time for IG in this game number 2.
So Rookie, with that play earlier, had evened up the gold lead in mid a little bit. So it's only about 650 gold lead for Xiaohu. Rookie could have opted to stay in mid there and even it up even more. But instead, they give the full tower to Photic. This is unfortunate driving, very close. But Will's still going to charge off, so the macro from IG is really impressive right now. This tower is dead too because of Ziggs, so they've just gotten 3 towers in the span of like a minute and a half with a Herald and a Ziggs.
They have indeed. There's going to be a little bit of a response here from Xiaohu, though. He'll get the side lane turret there for himself. That'll be nice to see, but doesn't do much in the grand scheme of things, Jbetto.
Here's the ulti onto Elk. He's just dead.
Doesn't even. That's a way overkill. That was 3 ultimates used there. As, why not?
Yeah, they wanted to make sure he wasn't getting out of that one, but again, Xiaohu, 650 gold lead. Photic's up 1.7k, has Collector rapid fire. So, there's been a bit of discussion about what is the right build for Jin right now? Is it Collector? Is it Youmuu's? Is it Stormrazor? And is that part of the reason why you know, Jin hasn't really found a ton of success globally right now. I will say, inherent balance or strength of a champion doesn't really matter when you're up 2,000 gold and a full item ahead of your opponent. You do just do more damage. So, but I can't stress enough how impressive that macro play is from IG. They group up bot lane with Rookie, get the, you know, he lives the dive. Then after that play, because Waybo views so much, they get the bot lane turret. Rookie TP's out. They come out mid with the Herald. They get the mid tower and then drive it up to the top lane with Rookie, who's ditched that tower, giving the full gold over to Photic, and then they get the top tower as well. 3 towers in a span of about a minute and a half. Really impressive macro from IG.
The wallbang action here for Jiejie trying to get an entrance, but Jwei is right here yet again, and here comes the rest of IG. Again, a Mega Inferno Bomb coming across, Mega Cold Bomb, whatever you want to do. Zika misses his ult, and this is just child's play for IG. They are picking them apart like little pieces of a toy.
And Zika's ult misses. Elk gets nearly one-shot by the Ziggs. Any more damage on top of that, any CC, any follow-up, Elk would have been dead as well. There's no Mikhail, so any CC onto Elk will kill him very quickly.
Oh my god.
And Zika apparently.
Zika again. Incredible stuff from IG. Just taking pick after pick.
With this Ziggs Jin, I mean, I was talking about Ziggs in an Annie comp as well at the beginning of the series, but it still functions the same way, right? Ziggs, this sounds very strange, does function as a dive champion because his damage can approach from a faraway angle. He can participate in the fight from so far away. Right here, look at this damage onto Elk. In the middle, half hits him. The pop-back execution misses. The TP in here is shuffled away by Xiaohu to protect his backline there, himself and Elk, but IG in a very solid position, very heavily in the driver's seat. Another tower over to IG, Soboro on the side lane. The only gold lead now is Xiaohu. It's 100 gold, 1,500 and some change for Jwei, 2.5 for Photic. The next Drake is 40 seconds away. I mean, if you thought that the dive was going well before, just wait until this Cloud Soul is taken, and IG are going to be running at you at Mark 10. Baron is a potential, but with a Jin Ziggs, probably not. I think IG are happy with the position.
Yeah, I mean, I would be surprised if they go for the Baron, but I would love to be in this position, right? You have so much control over the map, so much control of that pace of play, and now, speaking of that control, about 10 seconds or a little bit more. For this next Dragon, it would be that sole point, getting that much closer to a decisive objective for IG. But what a wake-up call for IG so far in this series. Game 1 was rough. We started seeing them show up later on in the game, but this game is much better from the team play aspect. Jwei has been able to answer every single one of Jiejie's advances.
This is 3 Dragons with no answer at all to IG, so they just take Cloud Soul Point. It doesn't matter if Jwei dies. It matters nothing. He even lives. So they get nothing. They get Jwei's flash. They're down Cloud Soul Point now on a Cloud Rift. They're already fast in the jungle. They're going to be faster and faster in another 5 minutes. There is a massive timer on this game, Mazel.
There is, but it looks like Waybo want to try to make an advance. They might actually pick Jwei here. He's slowed down, locked down, wallbang too. They will find the kill. They're trying to get the kill to either Elk or Xiaohu, and they'll get the kill to Xiaohu.
That is a pretty big gold injection. What more can Waybo get? With a Varus and a Nazir, you have a much faster Baron. Is that an option for Waybo? They're setting up vision. It looks like they do want to start this. They're aware the timer is on. They have to make a play, Mazel, with this pick.
Try to. Soboro has been waiting behind them this entire time. It feels like they're setting themselves up for a knuckle sandwich. Baron down to 6,000. Mega Inferno Bomb comes down. They just find out. They didn't know he was there. Big Emperor's Divide, but the Grim Deliverance brings Soboro straight in. Zika's trying to take a 2v3 here with Erha, but Erha goes down. Soboro trying to chase down Xiaohu, but he can't find him. Gets locked down, and Soboro's gone.
Yeah, that's how I feel about Zhen. He just can't close the gap. Maybe, again, with Cloud Soul, he's fast enough to get there, but he just can't do it. They don't get the Baron, but they get some more gold onto their carries. So, Elk only at a 2,000 deficit now. Xiaohu still at about that 900. So, we're pretty close to 3 items for both carries here. You can see that Xiaohu has the Blighting Jewel. Elk has full stacks on his tier. So just waiting on that Mana Moon now. They both have the 2 completed items other than that. So Waybo, this is very similar to game 1, except the gold lead is in favor. So this is what I'm talking about with Zehen. He ults on top of 2. Both get away. And now he can't close the gap. The W misses. The E hits. He can't close the gap anymore. He's just watching. He just, please, let me close the gap. Let me do something. He can't do it. He gets CC'd and dies. On the top side of the fight, Erha does fall down. 0-5 on this rel. It's more of a sacrificial death here. Jwei
try to take him down. They got a lot of damage now that Xiaohu has completed about 2.5 items. They should be able to lock him down. That's going to be another pick and a 4th kill for Xiaohu.
We try again maybe on this Baron. It could be a look. With Varus, you have great secure because of the Blight stacks, and Azir does do Baron fast, but here's a TP in from Zehen. Soboro with this 30% max HP shield now.
Got the Grim Deliverance opening up is going to be IG trying to get onto this Baron. Baron's going low, and it's smote away by Wei. He steals the objective, and now it's going to be the public execution on the back line onto Photic, but Zika needs to be careful. He's losing his front line. He's losing his damage. And now he's going to sidestep a Deadly Flourish. He's going to try to use a little bit of dash tech, but that's it. Rookie cleans the kill at 5,000 gold up as Invictus Gaming.
The Keeper's Verdict doesn't land onto this Pantheon, who has a great Q Smite steal. Wayne may be at risk here. He doesn't have flash or ult, so he's probably dead, but it doesn't really matter to me. I think even if he dies here, which he should die, they still got Baron. Nice overstay from Waybo. Nice tempo trap, but they're losing more on the bot lane. This tower's gone because of the Ziggs. You know, you were worried about... I was talking about sieging problems with the tanky towers. IG don't have that with Ziggs.
That is true, and you can see that here, plain and simple. A little bit of a defense coming out from Waybo as we see it. It's going to be a tough position to be in, as they actually want to make a proactive play here. They're TPing in as well. You can see it's going to be the addition of Xiaohu. There's going to be a double TP coming in. The crashdown gets blocked on by Erha, but Xiaohu misses the big Emperor's Divide, but the wallbang still comes in. It's been a double kill going to Photic, but Photic is now down and Jwei falls too. Xiaohu is just remaining to be the man on campus. He's 6-0, and he's trying to pull this Weibo team from the grave.
Yeah, he really is trying to breathe some life into Waybo here. So I didn't actually see where the Keeper's Verdict went. I was looking at the amount of damage this did. So where does Jiejie's Keeper's Verdict go? He flashes over it, really nice from Wei, and then the cute steal onto Baron is so well executed. And even though Wei dies at the end of this, it doesn't really matter that much. Everyone else gets out. Zika does fall down at the end of this, but we don't have... Oh, hold on, back alive.
Wei getting caught again. He doesn't have as much tankiness, and now he's getting caught by the entirety of Waybo. 5 men strong. They take him down. Grim Deliverance can be used defensively, but he still gets flashed on and killed by Jiejie.
Okay.
No, it's going to be the kill going over to Elk, and now they're going to go straight to the Dragon. That's going to be second Dragon for them.
All right, IG, no Cloud Soul. Waybo have damage online. Xiaohu, 1.4 thousand gold up. He has the Nashes, the Shadow Flame, and the Void Staff, and the Seeker's Arm Guard just for good measure. He's got a ton of damage. Elk just completed 3 items. Again, this is how the game is right now. I know that it feels bad to have teams be losing at gold deficits, but Wei is caught. There is just too much damage in the game. So even though Weibo are down a good amount of gold, Xiaohu has a ton of damage, and he shows it off here.
He does indeed. I mean, he's almost on 4th item now. He's got the Seeker's Arm Guard as well, so he has so much defensive pressure too, and can just pull off these plays. I mean, Rookie finally flashed the Emperor's Divide. That might have been the first time he was able to secure that one, and it did save his life. You can see how much presence Xiaohu has in these fights, and it's so fitting that after a tough early start to the year, this is the guy that has picked up the slack. That veterancy, this matchup of over 100 games against each other with him and Rookie, and he is the one with all the power in his hand.
And it couldn't be closer in this series so far. think that Baron power play said minus 160 something or 116. That's not very good, obviously. IG net negative on that Baron. And Waybo will be happy with that because, you know, that was their Baron to take. They did get it stolen away. Way with the flash over the wall.
Oh, they're going to try to find Rookie. He's got the Chains of Corruption on him too, and he is down. Another big pick, and Zika goes on the board with his first kill.
One of the biggest parts about Ziggs in a siege is that he's great anti-siege, right? But now that Ziggs is dead, Waybo can walk in and siege the turrets without risk of the wave being killed very quickly. Soboro in the top lane will put some threat on the map, so Waybo won't be able to answer it super aggressively with a push in mid. They will need to back up, but the gold lead Mazel has almost completely evened up. Still a 3k lead for Photic. He does have 4 items, which is very scary, but Xiaohu continues to build up his 1.5k gold lead. He's probably fairly close to the Zhonya's, or he might end up just going a Rabadon's if he gets that gold level 17 as well on this Azir.
I am the biggest Jhin stan of them all, but I will say a 6-in-1 Jhin with 4 items compares not to any mid laner with 4 items. No, it's going to be hard. I think it's again, Jhin, something you see a lot in competitive play. Yes, he does a decent amount of setup damage, a lot of utility. He is a good cleanup crew, and I think Photic is in a position to do so for IG. They just need a little bit of that momentum back in their pocket.
And IG know the Baron's coming up in about 30 seconds, so they have priority over the over the Baron pit, but yeah, I think I'm taking like a late game Azir over a Jhin most of the time, even though the Jhin, like, theoretically, look, I love Jhin too. I'm an ADC player. Theoretically, Jhin should be good with the crit changes, but he just doesn't find a place. Nice flash from Rookie.
That is going to be, but now it leaves Soboro, or at least way away. Soboro isn't even here. He's in bot lane, can't even be in a 5-on-5, or at least being answered to, as they are just running IG down the lead, continuing to trickle away from IG.
Curtains are open. Zika dodges one. Now it'll be blocked by Erha, so it should be fine. But this means that Waybo won't be able to start the Baron on spawn because too many of their members have been chunked. So again, it's just a pick onto Wei, who keeps getting caught by this Poppy.
Oh, okay. It's fine. It's gonna be fine. Yeah, I think this is troubling for IG for sure. I think Wei has had some very big moments for IG so far, but this Pantheon is sputtering, and it's feeling a little bit like some of that transitionary period from game number 1, where that aggressive stance started not working out once Waybo, or at least once IG had started turtling, and now Waybo going to turtle here.
Mega Inferno Bomb missed, so Waybo still healthy.
It's down.
Alter Wei this time does hit. It didn't hit Wei as he is in base, so hit onto Jwei. There's no steal potential. Waybo make a play here when IG are down their jungler. You can see pings immediately out from both teams. Baron has been taken, Mazel, but the fight is about to restart instantly because Cloud Soul is spawning once again.
And you had already talked about how much Cloud Soul means for IG, but how much does it mean when you're at an even gold lead and this Baron buff is going for Waybo? They can continue pushing, they can use this prio as well, but it's all about this fight. And as we see, everything available for everybody. The Mega Inferno Bomb will be coming up shortly. Chains of Corruption going to be used on Away. He does make it away for now, has some Blight stacks on him, so he needs to let those fall off. And they are waiting for the ults to come back up. They will have the Mega Inferno Bomb now.
I think Erha is fishing with this Q. They've both missed, but he's threatening that he's going to flash, and at any point he can Q flash onto the backline. Erha could just sacrifice himself here, and the dragon would be gone.
They're going to try to stick it. Xiaohu doing some good damage. IG hesitant to move into the pit, and now that might have cost them their life. Wei doesn't go with the aggressive stance, but it's the rest of his team that needs to back him up. Wei getting low. Public execution to be flashed out of. Wei going down. Xiaohu now picking up yet another kill, and that's 5 strong, bearing down on IG. Xiaohu wants the Emperor's Divide play. He wants to go for the big ticket item, but it's going to be the push into the mid lane that they go for.
Yeah, we were talking about IG with Cloud Soul. Waybo are on 3 Cloud Drakes. We're looking at a potential of a 4 Cloud Dragon, Cloud Soul, Rel, and Bessa. Azir with this Soul, with 4 Cloud Drakes. They are really fast. You're never catching them. It looks a bit scary, but this won't result in anything. Xiaohu will be able to get away. There is no TP threat There is no TPs available, so Waybo, a minute left on Baron. They probably won't be able to get anything else off of this Baron play, but a 2,000 Baron power play is lovely. They've tied the Dragon, so despite their early game, Mazel, being a little bit iffy around this Dragon macro, these setups, Xiaohu, like you said before, has pulled his team back into the conversation in this game, and it hasn't been clean, but they want to end this series 2-0.
I'm going to say, big cats, they don't hibernate, but it feels like Xiaohu's a different breed, and maybe his breed of big cat hibernates, because this winter has been a cold one. He's been stuck in his little hovel. He's been warming up. He's been getting ready for the spring tiger that we all know him to be. And honestly, we're starting to see little shades of that here in this final series of the regular season. The series that would lock them into that top 4 that we had mentioned earlier.
I mean, Xiaohu's got the Rabadons. Elks on 4 items. They have so much damage. Back with the gold lead themselves. Chains of Corruption will catch Jwei, but that won't do a whole lot of anything. He still has Flash and also the Unbreakable Will available. So we're waiting on this next Baron and this next Soul. The issue for both teams is that they are synced with Spawn. So both Baron and Cloud Soul for both teams is available simultaneously.
That's always going to be a little bit of a head scratcher on which I'm sure we're going to see a lot of like back and forth tug of war in that mid lane, as we do see a little bit of a siege setup around here for Waybo as they use the Sun Disc in the mid lane, but it's just consistently looking for picks at this point. I mean, we see Waybo finally with a gold lead, and it's a pretty chunky one here at a 1.5k.
Waybo making a play up onto Soboro here. They might be able to break the tower down if this happens, but IG are able to respond. Remember, Ziggs is so good at clearing out waves with the Mega Inferno Bomb or the Cold Inferno Bomb, the Icy. Oh no, it would be the Mega Cold Bomb, the Mega Icy Bomb, something like that.
Yeah, the Icy Hot.
But it will
one
one-shot this wave.
You know what Icy Hot is? No? Is that something they have in Australia as a turret goes down?
No.
Oh.
Do enlighten
It's like
me,
for your
sounds
muscles.
interesting.
It's like it gets cold and then it gets really hot. And then it gets really cold and then it gets really hot. It's for old people, so, you know.
Oh, that's why I don't know about it. I see.
You just had to say it. You just had to say it. Anyways.
I mean, you guys have some crazy stuff in America. Like, we get some stuff, some of the big name brands, but you guys have, like, you take it to every level of the extreme in a good way, I will say. Including sports. Like, you guys win at most sports as well. And we don't do too well in that other than swimming, because that's all we do. Play a bit of cricket too, but, you know, America has... Yeah, that's true. We play some rugby, but, you know, no basketball, no hockey, obviously no American football. We're not very good at those.
Made your own football, and that's what really matters.
We do. It's very entertaining. It is good. I know I need to get involved with some like American sports because I'm a part of the team now, but we need some AFL. Maybe we could do some watch partying in the AFL. But back on this game, Waybo posturing up.
Into corruption, but that's going to be straight onto Jwei. He will pop the Unbreakable Will, so that's a big item to be gone. That's a big cooldown to be gone here if it does stay down for the long length of this dragon spawn timer. But that's the one everybody's really focused on. That's the side of the map that we are centered on.
Yeah, I mean, look at how hard it was for Waybo to end the game in that first game with the Baron. So Waybo want to secure this soul first, so their fight around the Baron is better. They could at any moment pivot over to the Baron as IG enter through the bot lane, sweep out some of the vision. All the vision and traps on the top side of this jungle that you can see here mean that Waybo can't find a great flank, so we are standing 5 in a line. Soboro just 6-pecked in the middle of the game. That's really good. No, actually he didn't. It's for the shield. Massive brain play here. That looked a bit goofy, but we're here for the shield.
Perfect timing for an ad to pop up. You love to see it as we go for the ultimate fight here. The Dragon Soul for either side. Zika, he's waiting in the wings. He wants the entrance. Look at the double pincer maneuver that Waybo are putting. It will be on vision, but maybe it doesn't matter with how quickly they can get onto that back line. Dragon going down to 3,000. Keeper Photic going to go wide. It's going to be a 50-50. It's going to go the way of Waybo, and now they're going to get the Grim Deliverance, but a beautiful Emperor's Divide. They still lose bodies. Here comes the Grand Starfall. It's coming in deep. It's going in by himself. Can he do it? The wallbang comes through. Elk not going to go down just yet. The flash comes through. Way chasing him down to the depths as Waybo are forced to throw the white flag up.
So it's actually Erha who gets the dragon with a spellbook smite that he changed over to huge double smite against the Pantheon Q smite with the Varus burst as well, means that the dragon goes over, but Waybo lose the fight after. They've just used too much. IG, again, they cannot end without the Baron, without a team fight win, so instead they go back to the Baron. So look at this, so you can see Rel has smite available. What did it get smite? I couldn't see because we were in an ad, but it was a big smite. 1600, something like that. Very, very big after the Keeper's Verdict missed again. And with the engage here from the triple headbutt pulverize and the Grim Deliverance landing in, the chase with the Curtain Call, the Grand Starfall, IG get a few kills here at the end, but they are down Cloud Soul. We've seen how hard it is for teams to end the game in this series, Mazel. Can IG do it with a Ziggs who is so good at sieging?
Like it might be down to one more big fight. They couldn't even get an inhib, so they don't have any of that pushing strength here. And now we have the countdown for 4.5 minutes till that Elder Dragon. Looks like Waybo want to try to find some picks in between, though. I think both teams will be fishing for it, but we got to think that the GA there for Wei will still be an important factor in any fight that IG want to take. Oh, Jwei was looking for it there.
I think this is a very tense position, Mazel. Waybo with the weaker current position, but as soon as the Baron wears off, they are stronger because of Cloud Soul. Xiaohu is, or should be, full build at this point, so he does so much damage. But that was a fight where Soboro was able to land onto some members there in the pit, so he did the damage. That's what we're looking for with this Sehen. We've got 1.5 minutes. How much can IG get? They're going to start by pushing down this bot lane. Remember, the more people around the turret, the tankier it will be.
See if they can siege here. They are a little hesitant, but the turret's already getting within satchel range here very soon, but they lose all their minions. There's the Mega Inferno Bomb going. 7,000 assists reached for Rookie, right behind Xiaohu on that list. And here comes the siege to get this turret, maybe get this inhib too.
IG with the Ziggs will be able to break open that first turret and start chipping away at the first inhibitor, break open this base, but it's only going to be that first inhibitor down the bot lane, which is good for an Elder Spawn. You can easily clear out those waves. This inhibitor doesn't mean a ton, even if you do lose it. IG poking Waybo pretty well, chipping down the HP. Nice chance of corruption will force Rookie's flash out. That's a big tool gone.
It is. They're going to try to collapse back on a Soboro. I think they're going to have to give one of these in. No, they don't. IG actually going to use the TP from Rookie to get back into the fight. That 20 seconds left on the Baron buff. They really want some of these inhibs down.
Rookie's back. He TP'd in, so he's full health, but IG have been chunked down. The curtains are open.
Up. It's going to be IG trying to start the show here. Should just guarantee them this inhib. Jwei's going to step up. Jwei getting a little bit lower there.
Baron's off.
Still have the Unbreakable. Yeah, that siege power is gone.
They're going.
Here they go. Zika decides it's time to go, but he gets locked down immediately. Deadly Flare's going to hem, and that's going to be a big Mega Inferno Bomb with a kill clean up by Photic. Big Keeper's Verdict to get them out of there. It's now a 4v4, but I think Waybo is still going to be apprehensive of moving forward.
I think Zika doesn't land onto who he wants to and just gets one shot by IG. There is so much damage in this game right now, Mazel. We are, again, approaching 45 minutes in, a late game, a true late game. We are getting to full 7 slots ADC. We are getting to full slotted mid laners. And you know it's bad when supports have 3 items each.
That's the marker.
That's illegal.
That's
not allowed to. That's not allowed.
Go sell your items right now.
I spent a full year watching lolesports last year where supports were getting 1 item, period. And maybe that, I don't know what it was called, but the one that allowed you to buy the control wards. Obviously, Riot's removed that, so you get the control wards in a slot. But now this is like genuinely 3 support items, which is insane. Both supports have TP as well. So Waybo have 4 TPs available at the moment to go wherever they want to.
All right, we got about a minute for this Elder Dragon. This could be the do or die fight. This could mean the series continues or Waybo go up to top 4. How are these comps working here, especially for IG?
I mean, IG just need to keep sending it. They need to land onto the back line. They've got so much damage with Rookie's mega cold bomb right now. He will, if the spell shield has gone off of Elk, he will one-shot this virus completely. It will do so much damage. The spell shield is off. So if IG can close the gap, if Soboro can hit frequently, if Jwei can find a great engage and keep this map dark, Waybo needs space. They need to hit from range with the virus, with this Azir. They need time to let Xiaohu unleash on the fight. Waybo are basing. I know that they've got TP, so this is okay, but where are we TPing to? We're all TPing bot. We're going to go through bot lane.
I like the conciseness of their setup here, but they got to be a little careful because that Elder Dragon can go down real fast. Wei still having an extra life to play with here, but looks like Weibo want to take a little bit of a siege angle, go with a little bit of an off angle to the east side of this pit, because it's going to be Zika that has to answer that mid lane push and see if Soboro can come get active before that happens. He has the TP, so he'll have the big shield coming in, and Zika can make the difference. Half health on the Elder Dragon. It's going to reset, though. It's going to lose a lot of that damage, and it's going to get all the way back up.
It's really hard for Weibo here, Mazel, to actually send a fight because their main initiation, this Mbessa, is in the mid lane clearing out these waves. The Dragon is getting chunked down, but so is Soboro. Jwei's going to TP back in, and I think we can have Zika join now.
Zika looking for a backline angle. They might try to go for Photic, but he has the Jiejie. The Elder Dragon going low. Keeper's Verdict hits straight onto him. It's a 50-50. The Dragon, it goes his way. It's going to be huge as Waybo have this big buff, but they got to try to get the kills, the executions. It's going to be there, but he has his passive. Zika going wild. He still has his Jiejie. Grim Deliverance going to come through, but the passive comes through. The Elder Dragon wings start to signal the reign of Waybo here in the top 4 of Group Ascend.
How did Weibo get that Elder? It was like a 30 health dragon take there for Weibo, but IG will crumble at the end of this game. We are nearly 50 minutes into this game 2. It's only a 2-game series, Mazel, but it's long, and Weibo will cement themselves. Not an easy, not a quick, but a 2-0 nonetheless.
A 2-0 to cap off what was an up and down season. Weibo have done the deed. A 2-0 for IG.
I mean, they got their practice in that. Both teams went all out in that series. It was long. It was tough for both teams, but Weibo get it done. There are some definite question marks. You said this team is the question mark team. Question marks about their gameplay here. The early macro around the Drakes, the mistakes in the late game sieging, but Weibo have some stars on their roster. Elk, and this game it was Xiaohu doing so much damage.
And it's crazy, just the leap that is possibly happening. We got to wait for like full confirmation, but I do believe that 2-0 would potentially put them in that 3rd seed as well. So would be because they have the head-to-head at least to JDG. So we'll see if that actually pans out to be true, obviously. But man, if you're going to step up, why not at the last second?
Now this, at least, I feel confident in saying this has guaranteed them into playoffs. So congratulations, Weibo, this time for real. But IG can't take this loss too harshly. They did put up a good fight. Again, this match for them doesn't really mean a whole lot. They are still in the same position they were at the start of the evening. So Weibo get the win they need. Finally, after their chances, they make it into playoffs. And it was a tough slog. So I have no idea what this playoffs is going to look like, but it's going to be entertaining because I genuinely do not know who is the best team in the LPL.
That's the beauty of it. You never know until they win. And that's the LPL. I'm just still stunned. Like it's obviously a very Weibo thing to do to qualify for top 4 at the last second. Maybe even that top 3, right? But the way it happened, like the first game almost throwing a 15,000 gold lead.
Yeah.
And then a miracle comeback against the team that had you like down 4,000 or 5,000 by IG. We'll see when we get to the gold graph, hopefully, but it's the most wonky way to take a 2-0.
Yeah, that doesn't look real. Like, you see, 2-0, you know, you're checking the scores on LoleSports and you're like, oh yeah, 2-0, Waybo, easy. No, it wasn't. Go watch the series. That was crazy. That first game, I mean, IG were at the gates, pushing in to end against Weibo, and they oversent it a bit. Weibo in this game were down gold, down soul point again. They were down cloud soul points in a game like this and managed to pull it back. They're incredibly entertaining, but as a team, you probably want to have your games a little bit, you know, more one-sided. You want to tighten up that late game, tighten up a bit of the early game macro as well. But both of these teams now can, I guess Weibo mostly, can breathe their sigh of relief and say, okay, we can prepare for our playoffs now and look towards, you know, playoffs, potentially first stand. I think that, again, there is no clear winner or clear strongest team in the LPL at the moment. We've got one more series after this one to, I guess, determine the standings for that, but I'm still... Any team can really win. Weibo haven't looked the strongest, but they still have taken games off of, you know, they had a ridiculous couple of series against JDG. They look like they can contest the top two. We'll have to see that when we get there.
We will. Only results-based analysis here, and
I like
the
that.
results are in.
I like that.
We'll hopefully be getting the post-game graphics here soon, but I have serious worries for IG. And the worst part about it is I don't think it comes from the younger players on the team. I think it comes from the more experienced players. And I think that's a tough thing to read. That's also something that's not necessarily easily fixable. And I think we saw little moments, like especially in that game too. We saw some clean counter plays, which were awesome to see. But then some overextensions here or there by Wei, and Wei dying like 5 or 6 times in a row. And I think those kinds of things might keep them out of group ascent for that second split.
That is a scary conversation to have for an organization like this, for the players on this roster, for some of the players on this roster, and the year this organization had last year. But it is a reality, Mazel. Like, we can't, you know, beat around the bush here. That was not the best game from Wei. That you know, game 2, he had an amazing start. The ults down in bot to catch Elk, set his team forward. Even after the Dragon got stolen, Grand Star fall forwards, they got the Baron, and then he just gets picked multiple fights in a row. There was one Baron that Weibo got because Wei had been picked. So, yeah, troubling signs for this team for sure. But they do have time to prepare. It is a few days for them until their play-ins, and they are playing off against not Group Ascend teams for the start. They just need to win one best of 5 and they will make it into Group Ascend. But the fact that there is a conversation about this is it's an unfortunate reality for this team.
And we have an unfortunate reality here. We get no post-game graphics right now, as they have decided to go straight into an interview after the game. So that means we're done with our series. Hopefully we'll get to catch up on who gets MVP and things like that in the break here after the interview. But last thoughts leaving a regular season, Jbetto, for your first season of the LPL.
It was incredibly fun. This league is awesome. It is very, very fun. A lot of fighting. I think that my thoughts about the LPL right now and how we're looking as a region is, I think that the team fights are great. I think that there are some teams who send it pretty aggressively. Both these teams, JDG is a big proprietor of that, and you know, BLG, AL, all the teams are doing it. Some more than others, like I mentioned, but the team fights are excellent. When executed well, I think the game, from what I've seen at least, is very Dragon team fight focused, which does favor the LPL. So there are some things that need to be polished up. No matter what, there are 2 teams going to first stand against 2 LCK teams and some other teams from around the world as well. We will get to see. It don't matter. Yeah, I'm here to talk about the LPL. There will be time to, you know, see how that goes, how we pair up. But for right now, I'm in an equilibrium, I'll say, where I simultaneously feel a little bit iffy but confident in the right scenarios. So if the things line up for our LPL teams, I am confident that there are some amazing stars in this league, and the team fighting looks good, and that the highest teams in the Group Ascent can reach that height. Before I'm done here, though, MVP for the series and the game, since we probably won't get it, I think it's Xiaohu for the series. I think that he played a really good game under the wings again. Like, this game was a bit more him. I think it's, I would say maybe you could argue Jiejie MVP for the game, but I could see an argument for series MVP and for this game as well.
Okay, I like it. The Tiger has awakened at this point. We'll see if they get any further on. But hey, if you want maybe a little bit of hope, two of our top teams that are potentially going to be in the finals are going to be facing off just in that next series. So don't go anywhere. It's going to be a fun one. And before we get going, we got to give a huge, huge thank you to the support of LPL English that we've already gotten through our coffee. But if you haven't joined our coffee, please go join. Please go subscribe in any way you can. It's the best way to support this project. It's a huge volunteer effort by so many different people in so many different directions, and every contribution from our coffee goes straight to providing for the show and providing updates, providing pay for our volunteers and all the likes, as well as gives you a little bit of access to our content, especially our podcast and a couple other pieces, as well as our international interviews that we did have going last year and hope to continue into this year. So go support the LPL English project on coffee. Thank you all so very much, and we will see you for ALBLG. It'll be a fun one. It's going to be Grapes and Melvin coming in.